Everyone makes mistakes in block suits, even the pros, but today I'll tell you some of the mistakes that are secretly holding you back from leveling up faster, making money, and becoming rich in this game. Also, more than 99% of you are watching without subscribing. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss out. At number 10, the legendary Race Awakening. This is the power boost that completely transforms your gameplay. This is one of the most toughest thing in the game, and it can take quite some time to awaken all of your races. But trust me, one works just fine. At this point in the game, there is a total of 7 races, each having its own benefits. But one of the easiest ways to identify them is the names. I'll link the website down in the description, but basically if you want to use something for grinding, I would definitely recommend something like Cyborg or Human for damages, and for PvP there are really good races like Ghoul or Human. It's just a never-ending list, even Draco. Now obviously I can't show you how to get all of the races, but one thing that you need to focus on is that if you choose a race, maybe stick to it for a while, because it's going to take you a couple of days to get it to V4, and unless you max the V4, the race isn't that much efficient. And also know that you're going to be wasting a lot of fragments on this. Next up at number 9, running around with low belly and fragments. Without resources, you're stuck at square one, and one of the easiest and most efficient methods to get belly is to come over to Tiki. Once you have done that, just make your way over into the deep seas and look for a sea beast. I'm just going to go over it quickly because a sea beast is going to give you a lot of belly, and that's what you're looking for. If you do not have the 2x money, which is highly unlikely in 2025, you're going to get 200k belly just from killing a single sea beast. And if you have the 2x money, then obviously you're going to get 400k belly. So in an hour, you can easily get around 20 to 30 million belly just from doing this method right here. You can also make around 150 fragments from killing one sea beast. And for the fragments, the better method is just to come over here. It's going to take you at max 5 minutes to finish a raid, and it does not even cost you that much. Just use any of your low level fruits that you don't need and get like 2 more people with you. You can get up to a maximum of 4 and just start a raid. As I say, it'll take you a maximum of 5 minutes, and you're going to walk away with 1k fragments after that. At number 8, we got the Celestial event. Missing this rare moment is a huge setback for your progress. Now obviously make your way over to the mansion and talk to this NPC right over here. Now every hour on the 30th minute, there's a boss that spawns here, and he's really easy to kill. You can solo him and kill him in 5 minutes. Besides that, there is also 4 islands with the Celestial soldiers, 1 over here, 1 on that side, and 2 above us. Once you kill all of these NPCs, you're gonna get 10 Celestial tokens from 1 NPC. Now these NPCs respawn every 5 minutes, and you can stack up a lot of Celestial tokens. And once you have done that, come up to this tree area right here and talk to the Celestial Gacha. I don't really have any Celestial token, but basically just like last time, you can get a limited skin, either any physical fruit, or this accessory right here, which is really good, or also this helmet, this aura skin, and tons of other rewards. Sliding in at number 7, not awakening your fruits. You're leaving insane damage and abilities on the table. Now we all know that every single fruit that has an awakening now, it's a lot easier to do since there's a bit of a quest that you need to do instead of doing raids like the last time. You still need fragments to do this, but it's a lot easier than before. And one of the most underrated thing about awakening your fruits is the fact that everybody thinks that it does not increase your damage, it's just a visual effect. That is obviously totally wrong, since you're gonna get a huge damage boost, and not only that, all of the moves are gonna be visually better, and some moves have a newer version, so instead of tapping, you're gonna be holding it. Another thing to keep in mind is that any single fruit that is even mediocre or really good takes at least 15 to 20k fragments, so make sure you have that beforehand so you can easily start up those quests and fastly awaken all of your fruits. At number 6, putting stats in the wrong places. A bad build can ruin your entire setup, and if you think that this thing does not matter, you guys need some thinking to do. Now every single time you level up, you're gonna get 3 stat points, which you can use towards the stat points over here. So let's say you're at level 100 and you have around 300 stat points. One of the main priorities for you is to at least max up your melee and defense. Defense is obviously going to give you a lot more health, and melee will give you a lot more energy, and you're also going to be doing a lot more damage with your fighting styles. Also, if you have a lot of mastery on the fighting style, then it's going to add towards the melee damage as well. So as I was saying, if you have around 300 stat points, I would say to go at least 100 on melee, 100 on defense, and then 100 on block suits. If you keep on dying, then until you're max, you can make a new build in which you have a lot more points in defense, a little less in melee, and if you're using block suits for damaging, then a lot more points in block suit as well. Halfway at number 5, using the wrong fruits for grinding. If you don't pick wisely, you'll waste hours for nothing. As we all know, Buddha is probably one of the best fruits for grinding, but this thing goes deeper than Buddha. Now obviously if you're a beginner, there's no way on God's green earth that you can afford a Buddha. It is partially expensive for you, but elemental fruits is what you're going to be looking for if you're grinding. Now if you have any of these fruits in this list right here and you're a beginner, since if there's a level difference between you and the NPC, let's say if you're level 300 and the NPC is level 100, then these fruits right here, if you have them equipped, you won't get damage from those NPCs. The only reason if you're using Buddha for grinding is in C2 and C3. But another thing to note is that with your Buddha, if you're transformed, you're going to get so much less damage on yourself, and also you're going to be doing a lot more damage. That is one of the main reasons why Buddha is the best for grinding. So if you have Buddha, don't use it in C1, use it in C2 and C3 so you can actually awaken the first move, and once you have awakened it, then just start damaging people. At number 4, ignoring mastery farming. Without mastery, your skills and weapon never reach their true potential. As I said earlier, when you have more mastery, you're going to have a lot more stat points respectfully. So as in Sharkman, I have 536 mastery, and it shows that I have almost 400 mastery. That's about 1200 level of mastery in just a single melee, and this works from literally swords or even the fruits. Now I also understand that leveling up masters is really difficult, so for that just go over to Chocolate Land and start M1ing all of them. Once you kill 5 of these, just make your way over to here, collect 5 of these. It's gonna take you about 30 minutes to get up to 400 mastery, but it's obviously all worth it since you're gonna have like a lot of damage on your fruits. Coming in strong at number 3, not using the right accessories. Those tiny boosts makes a massive difference. If you don't know what type of accessory that you have to use, then obviously I've already linked the website down in the description, and let's say you only have C2 accessories, just click on C2 and look for what you have right over here. If you don't have mythical, then don't look for mythicals. But basically, if you're like a swordman or something, just hover over all of these accessories and one by one read them and just look for something that suits you. For example, the Sanguine Cloak, which is really dookie, but it gives you 30% more Oni tokens, 5% defense against melee, 5% melee damage, and 5% sword damage. Also 500 health. Terror Jaw gives you a 10% sword damage. This is probably up there. The Musketeer hat, 12.5% sword damage, and also 12.5% sword skill cooldown. So basically, you're going to be spamming your moves. Also, I'm not pretty sure, but if you have sand or smoke, either one of those fruits equipped, then the sword user cannot damage you, even with the M1s or the moves. Runner up at number 2 is forgetting about fishing. This is not just an extra. This can matter a lot if you master it. Now for thirsty, make your way over here, and this is where one of the main quests is for the wards. So if you're not doing anything and you already have all of the other wards equipped, and if you already have all of the other wards unlocked, then come over to this guy right here and talk to him. Just take a random quest from him from time to time because there's only 3 days left for this, and you need to do about 40 quests. It just gave me one of the hardest one, which is to catch a rare fish. As the name suggests, it's gonna be a rare fish, a really rare rarity for it. So if you get something like that, just click on the plus sign and just abandon the quest. Come back 15 minutes later and talk to this angler here. And I'm basically talking about the newest rods that they added. So once you have done about 40 quests from this guy right here, go over to the Celestial member, and in between doing the quest, whenever you get time, just come over here and collect 3 fishes from here. It's really easy. It's gonna despawn after 3 fishes and it'll respawn in 5 minutes. And finally, the biggest mistake at number 1, messing up trading or trusting shady websites. One wrong move and you'll lose everything. Now before you skip off, this is coming from a person who is really rich in trading. So when I say stuff about trading, it's coming from experience. One of the first thing that you need to do is set a goal. Let's say you need a dragon. The second thing that you need to do is come over to the shop every 2 hours and spin for a random fruit. You can get lucky and maybe get like a Yeti or something or a Kitsune that can help you towards your progress for a dragon fruit. The next thing that you need to do is come over to a website like this. I'm gonna link the exact one in the description, and like you can see, I'm trying to get 4 Kitsunes for a singular dragon. It says that it's a fair trade, but it's highly unlikely that people are gonna accept this. The main reason for that is this is highly overpaid for, so people are looking for perms or game passes for it. So unless you can do that, it is still possible to get a dragon, it's just a little bit harder. But let's say I'm trying to trade up to a Kitsune and I have a Yeti, you can see that there's a difference of 130 million. So I need to fill that in because unless I'm really lucky, nobody's gonna accept this offer. One of the offers that a lot of people are accepting right now is 2 Yetis for their Kitsune. If you cannot do that, this is another trade that you can do. So yeah, trading is basically a really confusing topic. If you trade non-stop for a week and you're taking W and L trades, it's in a week, it's more than enough time. They can learn everything about trading and everything will be as clear as day to you. Anyways, that was enough for this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also join my Discord server. The link is obviously going to be down in the description. And yeah, that was enough for this video. See you guys in the next video.